All right, so now let's get into the specifics of the assignments that are going to be required throughout the semester. First of all, this is in bold right at the top here. To earn credit, all assignments must be turned in as a Word document ending in .docx or a PDF ending in .pdf, not as images. So this is very, very important. If you submit your work as photos that you've taken and you send in JPEG after JPEG after JPEG or PNG or whatever it is, that will not be graded and you will not get points for it. In order to earn credit, everything has to be turned in as either a Word document or as a PDF document. So that means that if you are required to take pictures or photos or have some sort of drawing or image or something for your assignment, it must be put into a document that can then be submitted. And everything needs to be turned in as one Word document or one PDF for that assignment. This is also important because as we're doing things like peer reviews, for example, the person that is doing the peer review can only see one single assignment that has been submitted. So when you are submitting assignments, if you submit an assignment and you realize you left out a part, or you can go back and you can fix something, you can do that, and then you can upload the assignment again. Now, you'll see that as the person turning in the assignment as multiple documents that have been submitted for an assignment. The person grading that will only see the most recent one that you have submitted. So you need to make sure that the one that is most recent is the one that you mean to submit and that that's the one that will be graded. Now, we will not be able to go back and say, oh, whoops, sorry, that wasn't the one. I needed to submit this one. Make sure that you, again, double check, triple check that you go in, you can see the assignment, see what you have attached, open up that attachment, scroll through and make sure that that is indeed the attachment that you meant to attach or submit for that assignment. And it needs to be in a Word document or a PDF document. The only exception to this is when you're submitting a video. And when you're submitting a video, you'll just be submitting the video, not a Word document or a PDF with it. Anything else in the entire semester needs to be either a Word document or PDF. All right, so lecture notes. Each week, you will watch lecture videos on the subunit topic. You will be taking notes on these videos as you watch them, and they will be submitted digitally through Canvas. Lecture notes should be comprehensive and legible. Please see the tutorial on using the Genius Scan app on Canvas for an easy way to turn handwritten notes into a PDF. Each week's lecture notes are worth 10 points for a total of 150 points for lecture notes. So, as I have mentioned when we were talking about textbooks, all of the information will be given to you through lecture videos on each of the subunits. What I mean by subunits are the different weeks, the different systems. So you'll have the lectures, you'll need to watch the lecture videos, and you'll be taking notes on them. You need to take notes that have the headings on them. So you need to make sure that on your notes that you have whatever chapter it is or whatever section it is. You can even say video 1 or video 2 or 3, but it should be very clear which section you are taking notes on, so that as I am grading, I can see the section, and then I can read through that section and make sure that you have addressed each of the main topics or topics for that section. So that's the comprehensive piece. You need to make sure that you are covering the material. That doesn't mean you need to copy and paste, which you shouldn't do anyway, the entire text, right? What that means is that if there's 4 paragraphs of information in that section, then you should have something coming from each of those 4 paragraphs, because likely there's something of importance in each of those 4 paragraphs, and it should be covering the material. You don't want to leave anything out of your notes. This is going to be, when you take your notes, what you should be thinking is that this is all I get if I go into an exam. So anything that you've written down is what your brain should absorb before you walk into an exam. So if you leave it off of your notes and you don't have it written down, then I'm going to assume that you're not studying that information. And so that would be missing a piece in your lecture notes, and you would be marked down for some pieces that you would be missing. Now again, I'm not asking you to copy down every single paragraph, and I'm not asking you to copy down every single thing that's said everywhere. I feel like you can understand about main topics and a little bit of information for each of these main topics. Legible, that's very important. I need to be able to read them in order to grade your notes. If I cannot read them, you will not get the points for them. So this means legible as in your handwriting needs to be legible, or your typing, you can type them, needs to make sense. I need to be able to follow and see what's happening and understand what you're writing and understanding. And then that also includes that if you're taking images, taking photos of your handwritten notes and submitting them, that the images need to not be blurry. They need to not be blurry, they need to be well lit, and they need to be upright. And typically I feel like students learn where a good place is for that. And then what they do is they just make sure that they take their notes and take the images for their notes in that place each of the time, so you get the lighting right. So also please note that if you are handwriting your notes and then taking pictures of them, I did mention here the Genius Scan app tutorial. Make sure you watch that, and make sure that before you submit any of your documents, any of your assignments through the Genius Scan app, that you scroll through each page and you make sure that you adjust the filters. I explain how to do that in the tutorial. Make sure that you do it, because sometimes when it switches it'll automatically switch it to black and white, and sometimes that will completely wash out whole sections of handwriting. So please be sure that you do that. I'm going to continue talking about these different assignments in a next video.